Is this the election that could be the end for Keir Starmer? What is this by-election all about?
Essentially, this is a referendum on Keir Starmer. We've got a unique historic opportunity here. Vote Reform UK, get Starmer out.
Has Keir Starmer been up?
Keir Starmer hasn't been up. I mean, he's a busy man. I'd love to have him up, but, you know, he's got to run the country.
They vote Green Party and we've got another Green MP in Parliament. Do you think that if that happens for Keir Starmer, the game is up?
I think so. I think it's been up for a very long time. I think he's clinging on somehow. I think the stuff with Peter Mandelson should have been the final straw.
If Keir Starmer loses this by-election, it is the final nail in the coffin.
Is this the election that could finish Keir Starmer? Welcome to Gorton and Denton, where for the next couple of weeks, parties will be battling it out to see if they can unseat and defeat Labour. Coming in from the left, you've got the Green Party with their candidate, Hannah, who's a local plumber. She's hoping to hoover up the more urban and progressive vote, perhaps, on the left-hand side of the street in Levershume. And over here in Denton, we've got Matt Goodwin standing for Reform UK, and he's targeting the white working class vote in this more traditional area of the seat. But is any of this going to be enough to unseat Labour in what should be a traditionally safe seat for the party? We're just on our way to meet Matt Goodwin, that's the Reform candidate, on the Denton side of the constituency, to see what he thinks this election is all about.
Essentially, this is a referendum on Keir Starmer. We said, look, you've got a unique historic opportunity here. Vote Reform UK, get Starmer out. But this is also about putting the people of Gorton and Denton first.
There's a lot of problems in this area. You've got crime, you've got a lot of shops on the high street that perhaps are the best sort of shops.
Well, we're walking down Market Street in Denton now, and you'll be able to see around here, there are too many vape shops, there are too many barber shops, there are basically too many charity shops. The reason the high streets are collapsing is because we've had a succession of governments that have sucked the lifeblood out of small businesses. Reform UK, the only political party with a forum full of small business managers who are advising us on what they want to see in order to rejuvenate. And it's not a small problem. 5 million small businesses in the country, responsible for about 16 million jobs in Britain. It's a massive issue.
This election has already got a bit nasty. We saw recently Labour saying that people were afraid to leave their homes because of some of the stuff you were saying. I mean, what have you made of Labour's tactics so far?
I think Labour's been very underhand. They've lied about me and my campaign from the very outset. They tried to imply I'd said something negative about Manchester when I'd actually been slating the Conservatives. And I'm not going to take any lectures from Labour politicians who for 30, 40, 50 years turned a blind eye to the mass rape and sexual assault of working class kids in areas like Manchester and beyond.
Do you think that this is truly the election that could see Keir Starmer having a walk out of Downing Street?
If Keir Starmer loses this by-election, it is the final nail in the coffin for Keir Starmer. I know we can win this. If everybody who says they're planning to vote Reform votes Reform, we will win this seat. And that will bring down Keir Starmer. And I do genuinely think, therefore, we're not that far off from a general election. So a Reform victory here, perfect backdrop for the spring elections, perfect backdrop for the next general election where every Labour MP will be on notice.
We're off to see Hannah. She is the Green Party candidate and she's hoping to carve her way through an absolutely massive Labour majority to become the latest Green MP in the House of Commons. So we're going to go and ask her how exactly she plans to do that. So this is quite an important by-election. Tell me, when the day comes, why should people get off their sofas and go and vote for the Green Party?
So we know that so much has happened politically in the last 18 months. We've seen a complete rejection, I think, of the old typical party system. We're showing that we can have people who can come and get elected, and we've shown that we work really, really hard. But what we've also seen is Labour really abandon a lot of the promises that they made to people, and to abandon, they got elected under a banner of change. Things have changed, but I think arguably for the worse. And people now are just looking for an alternative, but they're looking for an alternative that is going to bring genuine hope. Vote for the candidate who you think and know is going to work hard. And for us here, that is the Greens. We've shown that we work hard. We're out having conversations with people. People see from my job and my background that I really graft. I graft in this city region, just like most people here do.
It was yesterday. The Manchester Evening News hosted a hustings. It got a little bit heated, and the Reform candidate made a claim that you want to legalise marijuana, heroin and crack cocaine. I'm going to have to ask, is that a plan?
So we know, and we're very clear in the Green Party, that the system that we have now is failing people. Just this afternoon, I was with a group of women who do a lot of community work, one of whom works with victims and people struggling with substance abuse. And we know, and I know from living in communities, it's very easy to get hold of that stuff right now anyway. So this idea that it's suddenly going to become easier, I don't think is true. I think it's often said by people who are quite out of touch with what is going on in our society. And I think we have to acknowledge that what we've got now isn't working, and we need to look and see if there's a better way of doing things.
On the day, people come out, they vote Green Party, and we've got another Green MP in Parliament. Do you think that if that happens for Keir Starmer, the game is up?
I think so. I think it's been up for a very long time. I think he's clinging on somehow. I think the stuff with Peter Mandelson should have been the final straw. I don't know how he's managed to cling on, but I know also that will send a huge message to Labour that they've really got to start listening to people.
The Greens are hoping to hoover up votes in this end of the constituency. Leavens-Hume's are more diverse. It's got a more liberal urban population. And as you can see around us, there's a real effort from the Greens to kind of show that they've got quite a lot of support here. And just walking around the streets here, you can see a lot of Vote Green signs, an awful lot of leaflets in windows, and voters kind of showing that they're pretty pro-Green in what is a very safe Labour ward at council level. On this house, you've got a Vote Green sign, you've got a Vote Green sign in the window, and an Everyone is Welcome sticker in the window as well. Already this morning I've seen a Green Party canvasser out leafleting door to door, quite early in the morning in the middle of a working week, which kind of shows just how much effort the Greens are putting in to try and show that this traditional Labour side of the constituency is one they hope they can win quite big in. We're off to meet Angeliki. She's the Labour candidate for this constituency. She's defending quite a large Labour majority from the Greens and Reform. She's quite a newly elected candidate. She's a councillor here in Manchester and has been for quite a while. But with attacks on both the left and the right, we're quite keen to ask her kind of how she hopes to see them off. Why should people on polling day kind of leave their house and go out and vote for you?
This is an important election because this is about Manchester. This is about doing things the Manchester way. This is about being together, rolling up our sleeves and getting things done. Or this is about shouting from the sidelines and division.
So they're shouting from the sidelines. That's a line I've heard you use that one before.
Yes.
In the hustings a couple of days ago. I think that's a bit of a dig at Reform, isn't it? So you said a few things in the hustings that people were afraid to leave their homes because of what Reform was saying. Can you explain a bit more kind of what you meant by that?
I was at an interfaith meeting with women from the Jewish faith, Sikh women, Muslim women, Catholic women, and the thing that came out in common is that women, especially those that are visibly looking different, they are worried about leaving home. They have to leave home either with another woman or with their brothers and their parents. And this is what's divisive rhetoric and demonizing a section of our community.
Has Keir Starmer been up?
Keir Starmer hasn't been up. I mean, he's a busy man. I'd love to have him up, but, he's got to run the country. Keir Starmer sent me a text message a few hours after I got selected, and he was in China negotiating a big trade deal, and I was just so surprised that I showed my mum and dad that I got a text from him.
This is Labour's election to lose. It's one of the safest seats in the country for Labour, but their candidate we've spoken to seems quietly confident, but perhaps cautiously confident, as she's being pressed on both sides from the Greens and by Reform. For Labour, this election is being pitched as a sign of bringing people together against what they say is Reform's division and the Green Party's lack of perhaps experience in getting the job done. I suppose really we've just got to wait and see. It's very clear that the Greens and Reform are throwing the kitchen sink at this election. Reform really do see it as their chance to try and force Sir Keir Starmer into resigning. And the Greens see it as their chance to put them really on the political map as a serious political force. Labour are defending a huge majority here in one of their safest seats. But now all that remains to be seen is this really, really enough to see someone other than Labour winning this seat?